Ladies and gentlemen, you will agree with me that this man has transformed the face of EFCC by bringing innovative ways to prevent corruption. So if your hands are not too busy, I'd like us to make welcome the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Mr. Ola Olukoyede, as he gives us his welcome remark. Please let's keep clapping as he comes to the podium.
Excellency, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, OON, CON. You're welcome, ma. Your Excellencies, state governors here present. Particularly, I'd like to recognize the presence of Zamfara State Governor. You're welcome, Your Excellency. I also like to especially recognize the presence of Gombe State Governor. You are welcome, Your Excellency. Your Excellencies, other state governors here present that I have not been able to see. Members of the National Assembly here present. Particularly like to, on behalf of the entire Commission, recognize the presence of the chair of the Financial and Economic Crimes and Anti-Corruption Committee, Senator Emmanuel Udende. I'd also like to recognize the representative of the Senate President here also present. I'd like to welcome the chair of the Financial Crimes Committee of the House of Representatives, Honorable Onwosibe as well. I'd like to welcome other members of the National Assembly here present. Honorable Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, I welcome you. Your Excellency, ambassadors and head of foreign missions here present. Permit me to also welcome the revered royal fathers, His Eminence Saad Abubakar MNI, the Sultan of Sokoto. You are welcome, sir. His Royal Majesty Oba Enitan Ogunwusi Ojajatu CFR Oni of Ife, ably represented by Oba Ogusanwo. You are welcome, sir. Also, His Royal Majesty Alfred Naimeka Okagwe CFR MNI the Obioni of Onitsha. You are welcome, sir. I also like to especially welcome the President of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Archbishop Daniel Oko. You are welcome, sir. I'd like to also welcome the chair of the panel discussion for today, Executive Vice Chairman of NCC, Mr. Aminu Wada Meida. You are welcome, sir. I'd like to welcome all the head of service, all the service chiefs here present, all the head of law enforcement agencies, particularly, I think I can see my brother, the Comptroller General of Customs. You are welcome. Also, my brother, the Commandant General of National Civil Defense Corps. You are welcome. All other dignitaries here present, I'd like to welcome you. Captains of industries, development partners, particularly EU, representatives of EU, and ROLAC IDEA that have supported this project. Members of the civil society organizations here present, our esteemed youths here present, particularly all the youth corpers at Ajuwaya here present. I welcome you. Members of the press, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I feel immensely gratified to welcome you all to this important event, the National Cybercrimes Summit. Looking across this expansive hall, I must say I am moved by the impressive turnout of guests from all sectors and sections of the country. I am indebted to you all for answering our call to join this critical endeavor and this crusade to rescue our young generation from the stranglehold of cybercrime. Let me profoundly appreciate our mommy, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Our Excellency Senator Oluremi Tinubu, OON, CON, for graciously accepting to honor us with our presence as guests of honor despite our extremely crowded schedule. Thank you, ma'am. Our support and encouragement were instrumental in making this event a reality. I extend the same courtesies to all the excellencies, particularly the state governor's wife here present. I'd like to salute you, particularly the wife of the chair of the Governors Forum, Her Excellency Mrs. Abdulrazak. You are welcome, ma. I also like to recognize the wife of the CDS, Chief of Defense Staff. You are welcome, ma. I extend the same courtesy to the state governors here present and other distinguished guests who have traveled from all corners of our country to be with us on this significant national engagement. This occasion calls for sober appraisal and reflection of the state and circumstances of our youth, and by extension, the entire country. The menace of cybercrimes, like most economic and financial crimes, is a burning challenge that we cannot ignore, deny, or wish away. This summit is the second to be organized by this commission this year on the same issue, owing to the overarching need for us to articulate opinions and build greater strength against the scourge of cybercrime. This time around, we are not only interrogating the problems, we are aggregating workable solutions to it. What alternatives do we have for our youth? And that's where it has become imperative to bring the state governors, so that as we are tackling it at the federal level, subnationals will also have a role to play. The enormity of challenges posed to us as individuals and as a country by cybercrimes are grievous. As individuals, youth involvement in these crimes is distorting and corrupting acceptable family values. The tendency towards quick riches no longer positions our young people for enterprise, resourceful intellectual aspirations, and technological innovations. Projections by multiple sources show that the global loss to cybercrimes may reach a staggering $10.5 trillion. As a matter of fact, the research I did earlier this year confirmed that cybercrime has become the third largest GDP in the world, with approximately 2,328 cases occurring daily. The implication of all this is that if left unchecked, cybercrimes portend grave dangers to the entire world. Bringing it to Nigeria, in 2022 alone, Nigeria lost over $500 million to cybercrimes. These are the realities talking the Commission's fight against these crimes. Cybercrime accounts for a significant percentage of the 3,455 convictions recorded by EFCC in my 1 year as the Executive Chairman of EFCC. A significant portfolio of choice assets have also been recovered and returned to both local and foreign victims of cybercrimes by the Commission. We are not oblivious of insinuations and misconceptions in some quarters that the Commission is concentrating its operational works on the fight against internet crimes. While this narrative is not really true, the fact remains that cybercrime threatens the nation's most significant assets, its reputation, economic well-being. The losses by the financial services sector to cybercrime in the last 3 years is mind-boggling and staggering. We cannot continue to sit idly and watch the integrity of our institutions compromised and our youth degenerate into living lives solely dependent on crime. The future of our nation cannot and will not be allowed to hang in the balance. We must take collective actions against cybercrimes. Talking about alternatives to cybercrimes, there are ample skills that can be optimized for national development. It is this lack of serious cogitation on the alternative that has not made our youth shift their focus from criminal tendencies. In other words, if our youth can find something doing, engaging them, probably that will reduce the propensity to commit cybercrime. It is this lack of serious. First, there is alternative of creative and innovative development of socially beneficial applications that can deliver better prospects than internet fraud. Today's event is tailored towards exposing young Nigerians with strong tech skills to the opportunities that abound in various industries and sectors for legitimate wealth creation and honest livelihood. These opportunities can be found in creative industry, tech ecosystem, financial services sector, medical services, and even law enforcement. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I've shared once my encounter and my experience in the course of my work with a 70-year-old young Nigerian who was arrested for cybercrime. And I took interest in him and I engaged him Why do you do this? I brought him to us. Why do you do this? And he told me, because there is no alternative. He had to pay his school fees. He's a 100-year level student. And so I just wanted to demonstrate, I wanted him to demonstrate his acumen, his proficiency. And I gave him my laptop. How do you do this? A young man. By the way, he's not even studying science. He's studying history. But you need to see the proficiency. He opened my system, and without giving him my password, he decoded my system. And I was there, shocked. I mean, this is not funny. That shows the skills that we have in Nigeria. And that was what informed this. This job can't be left to EFCC alone. It's a collective responsibility. And before you could say, Jack, he said, sir, which bank do you use? I said, no, I'm not going to tell you that. Don't come and demonstrate that in my office. Because the guy was ready to probably go into my account and, he said, look, you will see me now, I'll move money from one account to another. And I said, no, don't do that. It's enough. I just want to know how proficient you are. And you could see that, these are the stuff our youth are made of. And that's why I'm so passionate to ensuring that we deploy those skills to something that our nation will benefit from. We have reached a stage in our nation that necessity should compel a change of narrative from criminality to productivity, from idleness to usefulness, and cybercrime to cyber wealth. To this end, as part of our preventive research measures in line with Section 6 of the EFCC Establishment Act, the EFCC under my leadership is completing work on a cybercrime research center. And I'll plead with the media if they can just show us. We are building a new academy, and we are putting up a cybercrime research center in collaboration with one of the fintechs in Nigeria. It's a center that will take minimum of 500 young Nigerians at a time, train them in cyber security and all areas of cybercrime research, so that we'll be able to make something out of them. Those who are in school will come during the vacation, we'll place them on little allowances. They will be there. So from there, big companies can come and recruit people. This is what is done in countries where youth are encouraged. And this is what we have made up our mind to do. And I'd like to encourage the state governors to replicate the same gesture at the state level. Help us put technology hub in place in your state. If I'm doing for 500 per time, if you help me to do for 1,500, and that will complement, and if we're able to take 20,000 youths out of joblessness and train them in tech, I think that will reduce the poverty level in Nigeria. This is what I'm pleading with the state governors to help us do. The center, the product of collaboration with one of our foremost fintechs, Flutterwave, is envisioned as a learning, rehabilitating, and refocusing center for youths across the country. It could also serve as a research resort for law enforcement agencies interested in deeper understanding of issues involved in cybercrimes. Also in line with the corruption prevention mandate of the EFCC, we are establishing right now a cybercrime response desk that the First Lady, our mommy here, will help us launch today. Now, to receive and process real-time information on suspected cybercrimes for immediate enforcement action, to nip such cases in the bud. The initiative, in our estimation, will help in reducing incidences of cybercrime and possible losses of money by victims. I'd like to thank the European Union, through ROLAC and IDEA, for supporting this initiative. Your Excellencies, it is needful to state at this point that owing to the seriousness of the EFCC attaches to the need to break the stubborn fang of internet fraud. Staff handling such crimes are being trained and retrained to be abreast of and ahead of developments in the sector. We are ahead of the fraudsters, and we will continue to hone our skills to beat any syndicate operating on the internet with the aim of making illicit wealth and destroying our national economy. Let me use this opportunity to appeal to the conscience of our parents and head of institutions here present across the country, and to regard the fight against internet fraud as a compelling endeavor. The quality of the future leadership of our nation depends on what we do with the issue of cybercrimes today. Tomorrow is not a promise. Tomorrow is a fruit of preparation. We must all join hands together to tackle the hydra-headed monster which internet fraud has become. I cannot conclude this address without appreciating the vision, courage, and the sincerity of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, in offering us free hand. If you want to clap for the President, you can go ahead and do that, please. Thank you very much. Thank you. In offering us free hand to do our work at EFCC, Mr. President has never interfered in the work we do. Rather, he encourages us to do more. We are blessed with a leader that has the best interests of the nation at heart. A testament to this is the groundbreaking initiative aimed at lifting the financial encumbrances to tertiary education for the Indigent Through Student Loans Fund. It's a project that the president has put in place to help students to pay for their school fees and to give them stipends every month. And that has really helped us to fight corruption in Nigeria. Now, these are policy issues, things that we need to fight corruption. It's not only about the gra enforcement. No. When we put policies in place that will help people to get out of poverty, that is one of the best ways to fight corruption. And that is what the president is doing. And also the consumer credit scheme that has reduced the pressure of coping with the inflationary trend by average income earners. We will continue to support these critical social investment programs and do what is right at all times, no matter the borders that may be put in our way. Finally, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate everyone that has taken time to be part of today's summit. Our efforts should not stop at this end. I'd like to particularly appreciate my good friend, the Katsina State Governor, who just walked in. He has voluntarily given us a property to use as EFCC office. So he is on his own inviting us to Katsina. Why some of his colleagues are currently at the Supreme Court now, Our efforts should not stop at this end. We need to keep the flame burning. I also want to like to also, Your Excellency, recognize the support given us by the Ekiti State government. They have also donated a property to be used as EFCC office. I told him, I'm from Ekiti State. I can't be fighting corruption and my state will not have an office for EFCC. So he has voluntarily given us a property to use. So we are moving into Katsina and Ekiti very soon. I'd like to thank the Attorney General of Ekiti State, who is here present representing the governor. We need to keep the flame burning until we break the siege of corruption in our land. Thank you all for listening and God bless you.